What do you say? My glasses are tilted as fuck. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this for YouTube creation? Am I doing this to maybe make content to diversify and secure a better future? I think the reality is that I've been hard stuck as a StarCraft player for a long time. I want to bridge the gap between being a content creator and a StarCraft 2 player, and a StarCraft 2 streamer. Like there's those three branches, and I want to bridge that gap. I don't want these vlogs to be very long, maybe 5, 10. I think the first one might be 15 minutes. I literally don't know. I'm starting it on a Sunday. It is October 11th. I just bought all the gear. I have a good camera already, but I got the cage, and I have an old mic that I had laying around, and I got to get some batteries and a small little monitor. I feel like a real vlogger. I got the bendy tripod. Everyone loves the bendy tripod, and so I'm gonna learn. Like, at first the shots are gonna all be bad. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not doing this for you. I'm sort of doing it for you, but not really. I'm doing this for me. Okay? I am doing this vlog to dedicate myself to trying to be a better player. I know the reality, okay? I'm 29. I'm already old. I'll never be the best. I know I can't. I'm probably genetically not capable of ever being the best, even if I had started playing StarCraft 1 when I was 12. But I think I can be good. Alright, right now, I'm like top 0.2, 0.1%. And that's considered trash, okay? I'm bad, and I want to be better. My first goal is to crack the top 200. This has been a goal of mine for a very long time. We'll be training 6 days a week. 3 will be StarCraft 2 practice in the mornings. 3 will be lifting. Right now, I'm going to be working on my mechanics. So if you aren't a StarCraft 2 player, okay, we're going to be trying to optimize for 3 things. Supply block time, resource collection, and MMR, okay? So basically, in StarCraft 2, it's basically, if you play chess, okay? It's like chess, except imagine the pawns. They could make you money, and they bring you the cash, and then with the cash you hire, new guys, and then with the new guys, you get a big army, and then you destroy your opponent. You just absolutely dumpster them. Except we have a problem. You need homes. You need places to put your dudes. If you don't have enough homes, you can't have a big army, and then you just have all this cash sitting around, okay? And it piles up, and your opponent, they just destroy you and they take all your shit. You're like, how did this happen? Okay? So, we need to get that supply block time low. Okay? So that means we don't have any depots. We need to get that number low. It should be like, for Terrence, like 10 seconds. And my average time is 55 seconds. Can you believe that shit? 55 seconds. I'm garbage. Okay? Top 0.2% trash can. I'm awful. Okay? Money low. Okay? Supply block time low. You'll know, like, okay, so did we improve? Hey, is that number lower than last time? Okay. And yeah, and then our MMR. So MMR is our matchmaking rating. Basically, how good are we? Okay, listen, they have ranks in StarCraft 2, like gold, silver, platinum, diamond, masters. They're all garbage. Okay, they're participation awards. Only one thing matters, and it's the MMR. That's the number associated with you. Your number is the only thing that matters. People, they try to make you feel fucking good. Okay. They give you these little things like, oh, yeah, you're Masters 3. Okay, listen. That's shit. Okay? You can get to Masters 3, lose 5,000 MMR, and still be Masters 3. Okay? You still get the logo. It just tells you you're going to be demoted next season. MMR is you. If your MMR is low, you're shit. Okay? If your MMR is high, you're shit too, but less shit. This is going to be fun. So it's Monday morning, and I've got coffee. I have a new schedule. Monday, I'll do mechanics practice, and then we'll stream, and then I stream at night. That's my Mondays. I probably study in between. I'll be like watching VODs and stuff to learn new build orders. Yeah, overall, it's really not that entertaining stuff. Like you just basically do the same thing like over and over and over again to make sure that your mechanics are perfect. And I'll show you a bit of that. But honestly, yeah, it's not glamorous. I guess that's a part of any training, really, is that it's never glamorous. It's just a grind. But I think it's necessary when you lack fundamental skill. So that's what we're doing. As a brand new vlogger, I would love to thank Sony for making the record button literally the size of a pinhead and impossible to press. I had this sick shot of a coffee cup, which I have to re-record because it wasn't there. Thanks, Sony. Alright, good morning. It's day 2. I'm not a fan of mornings, okay? That's probably one of the hardest things to do with vlogging is get my mornings together. Grab the camera, go bring it places, and pretend like I care. But I get to film coffee. And you know what I get to do after I film coffee? I get to drink it. And now I feel good, okay? So this morning, I have a podcast thing with someone who's watched my stream for a long time. It's really interesting because I don't even know his first name. And when you are like a streamer or like a esports person, or very frequently you find yourself running into situations where you only know people by their like gamer tag or like their, yeah, I guess their gamer tag. Okay, yes, it's a gamer tag. That's what we call it. And so his name is Necro, and I've known him for quite a while. Like he's been in my Twitch chat for ages. In fact, one of my favorite moments of all time. So we were at WCS, which is this big tournament for StarCraft 2, and he's in the crowd, and he has a sign with one of my emotes on it, and I was just so happy. Like it's nothing like that had ever happened to me at the time, so it was a brand new experience. It brought a little bit of joy to my life I had never previously experienced. So today's events, I got a workout today that's on the regimen, and there's the Apple event is happening, and I've been looking to get out of the Android ecosystem for a bit now. I don't trust Google, okay? I'm not even tinfoil hatting. I don't trust these people. Like, they have too much of my data, and I'm sick of it. I don't think Apple's any better on, like, principle, but I think that they sell me iPhones, and they sell people Apple TVs, and they sell people computers, and they sell people an overpriced ecosystem. What does Google fucking sell you? Okay? They don't. They sell you. So I'm gonna depart from that. Oh, and I finished this last night. I'll give you a nice little type demonstration or something, or just rattle on the keys. But this is a custom Leopold. Finished this last evening. I do custom services and build services for custom keyboards as well. It's not that hard. It's not fancy. It satisfies like this need for tinkering I've had since I was a kid. And yes, I picked it up a while ago. I hope everyone's having a good day. I should actually get that right. Meow. post-stream snack. Alright, it is Wednesday, October the 14th. I very quickly lose track of the date and time. Trying new camera angles. I don't know if any of them will be any good, but I'm just trying shit out because this is my first go at it. So I'm not gonna script these vlogs because I think that's like it kind of defeats the purpose. But I have like bullet points because. So the intro, you'll notice, was pretty messy. It was pretty rough. So yeah, I just finished an hour of dedicated practice. I got these this morning. I got my cheeky, glorious panda switches. Alright. I really bought these for me. These aren't going to go in anybody's build. Maybe, actually. I'll lube them at some point and throw them in my hot swap keyboard. I don't know, I wanted to give my thoughts on the dedicated practice meme. So, and like kind of why we're doing it. So I've been playing StarCraft 2 for 10 years. Why is it that I have to practice like the basics, the fundamentals? I guess everyone's macro, so the management of their economy in StarCraft 2 could really use some work. But I think specifically for me, I noticed this when I was trying to play like serious games, like without reading chat or talking to anybody. I was still making like very similar mistakes, and I had to consciously think about correcting them, which led me to believe that it's possible that I've been like streaming for so long now that I've baked these mistakes into my macro mechanics, and they sort of allow me to like talk to chat and talk to the stream and play at the same time. So I'm trying to undo these mistakes and then fix it. So right now I'm doing 4 sessions a week of like 1 hour of practice where I just work on making sure any game where I get supply lock like or anything, I just immediately quit and start over. And I do about an hour straight of that. Wednesdays are an interesting day actually because it used to be that I would stream day and night like 6 days a week. Actually, it would be day and night 5 days a week, night on Saturday. No, yeah, day on Saturday, night on Sunday. So I get like that one day. Yeah, it's too much. Even for somebody who works, who likes to work a lot and like loves their job, it is, for one, like it's recommended that content creators do YouTube stuff and recorded content, and that leaves no time ever to work on that. So what I've done is that Wednesday my nights are off. Artosis has a list of books for improvement, and I want to sort of bake that into this vlog because I mean it's about improvement. So I figured, you know. So I want to pick up the first book in the list. I actually don't have it on hand. I'll get it. Okay? It's not that hard. Okay, the first book is Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown. Okay, so I'm going to find this book, or I'm going to get it on my Kindle, and I'm going to read that today. I'll read some of that today, and maybe I'll give you like a brief like bit about what I thought was good about it or not. I hope you guys are having a solid. I guess when you see this, it'll be Saturday, right? I have to remember that. I hope you guys had an excellent Wednesday. All right. My Wednesday is a little bit slow to start, but you know, yeah. All right, how's it going? So Thursday, I didn't think it'd be that productive, I guess, or that full of crap to do. But it turns out that quite a few things happened today, and I didn't stream. So one of the pitfalls of being like a, I guess most self-employed people know this feel. But being a streamer in particular, you make your own hours, so sometimes you have an advantage that you can sort of move your stream around, especially when it makes attending things like making appointments to go see a kitchen designer guy at like 1 o'clock possible. Like usually you couldn't do something like that because you're working and you can't just depart from work. I guess I've been like working on editing the vlog for the first time, and I've never edited. So like what you're seeing in this vlog, right? Like it's probably gonna run. It looks like it's gonna run about like 18 minutes, which is a little longer than I wanted, something along those lines. You're seeing like my first attempt. So if it's terrible, I have an excuse, and if it's good, oh yeah, I'm just very talented. Um, so yeah, hopefully, hopefully you guys don't mind. Um, yeah, the editing experience has been fine. Um, I say and but and okay way too much. So last thing I signed in on a webinar, a Twitch webinar on ads. So you guys may or may not know my stance on ads. I think the ads are like the worst thing ever. And you know what? Just reinforced by taking a quality gander at the social dilemma, I'm really not a fan of ads. Um, this presentation uh, helped and hindered my perception of ads. There are a few features, and this is someone who literally asks people to install AdBlock, okay, to get an uninterrupted experience. There are some features that if they put them in, I will be fine with running ads. My take is that the classical mechanism for rolling ads does not make sense in a live streaming format at all. If you watch my stream, you know this. Like I hate them. They are working. I can't say because some of it's NDA'd and I don't know how much, so I can't say exactly what they're doing. All right. If you watch the shoot, you know though, because like I talked to them about this. But they're working on an uninterruptible ad experience. Okay, and if they follow through with such an experience, I won't mind it. I understand data costs a ton of money to send around the internet. All right, ISPs are assholes, and Twitch is not exempt from such a thing. Okay, they're not safe because they're owned by Big Daddy Bezos. They're paying for the highways. There is one there is one product that if they unveil it, like if they do it the way that they showed us, I will gladly allow for the ad breaks to be there. Because they won't really be breaks; they'll be uninterrupted ad experiences. This is something that you see in live sports all the time. No one complains because the ad was designed for the medium that is being shown on. Okay, that's fine by me. All right, as long as it's not getting in the way of the content that we make. Like, I don't want to be privileged here either. Like, I understand that I'm using the service pretty much for free, right? Like, even though yes, I make money, they make money. The service itself, like, I probably cost quite a bit of money in the data realm. I know that. So I am fine with the ads as long as they don't get in the way of the content because I know the damage that it does to growth. So if they do this experience correctly, I'll be a happy boy, okay? Aside from that, I'm going to stream tonight. Editing the vlog has been okay. I think I could probably get it under 2-3 hours on a Saturday. It'll be a fun little experience. The way I want to end the vlogging, each week's vlog, is with just a breakdown of what the stats were like last week, which we don't have this week because there's no benchmark against. I didn't even check. MMR of the week before versus this time. What I felt I was doing wrong, and if other stuff got in the way. Just I really want to sum up the week on Saturday's thing. Probably actually no shots this Saturday because Saturday's supposed to be my day off. I want Saturday to have nothing. Like Saturday should just be absolutely nothing. I should be able to just do whatever, like work on the apartment, hang out, um, You need a day off, man. Like I try to do the 7 days a week thing. It's too much. It's too much. All right, I understand that some people do it, but maybe I'm just not as good as others. I guess. Anyway, yeah, I love you all, and yeah. So I think tomorrow's segment. Yeah, there's nothing to say. Okay, I'll just edit this away. Okay, so it's early in the morning. I have coffee. Um, I don't know. I feel like I want to get some of the things off my chest. I didn't even write anything down. I wasn't expecting for Blizzard to pull the plug on StarCraft 2 because they're not 100% bailing out as per their post. They're still going to do balance updates and the seasonal map rotation, which, let's be honest, is basically what they're doing right now. I just suppose it's very weird to wake up in a world knowing that Blizzard's been working on this game for like 10 years and it's just different now. Do I think this is a bad thing? Fortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, no. Fortunately for Blizzard, or unfortunately for Blizzard, I think that they tossed this in the bin like an uncountable number of times at this point, really. And then they tried, you know, but I feel like they stifled the scene in a lot of ways, like not being allowed to run another tournament at the same time. For example, completely killed all the other orgs trying to run StarCraft 2 at the time. And now, look, like we're in a position where Blizzard's like backing out and there's one org. You know, it's going to have to start from scratch. Fortunately, ESL seems to be incredibly good at their job. And I truly hope that if Blizzard was sponsoring the prize pool to a huge extent, that they can find those funds elsewhere. Or that, if they do the production in-house, that they can save enough money that it's worth it. I can't imagine that it isn't, like everyone working from home and whatnot. The production's still been really good. And I think they're killing it. But they'll probably go back to live. They'll go back to live for sure. It's just sad. I think, before Jeff passed, he alluded to it. Like, there will come a day when it's just us. When it's just the community, and we're the ones running the show. I mean, not me. I play video games and lose, and people laugh. But people like Artosis, Wardy, Wardy's a huge factor. Rifkin, if he decides to start casting like crazy again. Rifkin. Who else we got? We actually have a ton of new ones, like the Steadfast, Chicken Man, Rushy, Falcon Paladin is doing Brood War stuff and some SC2 stuff. You've got like a billion guys and gals who are all trying to do the tournament thing, and we need that. And to be honest, I think StarCraft 2 can grow that way. I mean, it's been growing anyway. StarCraft 2 is a game that's growing in spite of the fact that Blizzard just like tries their hardest not to advertise for the damn game. It's like grown in spite of how much they wanted to move on. The problem is that StarCraft 2 fills a need for competitiveness on a 1v1 scale where people are accountable. Because even though people love to blame other people, they also like to be accountable for their actions. On some deeper level, like we all want to know that the reason that we're good is because of us, and the reason that we're bad is because of us. Otherwise, I'd be playing League of Legends, blaming my teammate for not, saving my ass because I can't hit it. What is it, an ult? Nah, you hit them with the ult or the Q. Yeah, I'm just sad because that means that, the state of the game is all right. There are some things I really dislike, but now I guess it's sort of settled. If you have balanced complaints, shut up. Like, you're not gonna change. If you have design complaints, stop it. Find another game, because they're not going anywhere. It's over for that. But I think that for the scene, I feel like a dick saying this, but one of the best things that's happened to us is that maybe we're the ones who decide what happens to the game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in the next couple of years, another RTS will come out, no Blizzard support, or maybe we're just not capable of handling, or we're not up to the task of doing anything useful with the game. But I'm willing to stake my time on it. So we'll see. Yeah. It's Friday. And this Friday sucks. All right. So I actually hated my first cut of the end of week wrap up so much that I reshot it. this is this is a reshoot. Okay, this is the second time you're seeing this. I actually decided to take notes this time, um, because it was fucking not good. I was just all over the place. So when it comes to the wrap up, I'd really like to get kind of straight to the point. This is supposed to be done on Saturday, so it's Sunday now, and I should be building some IKEA furniture and streaming. Saturday's supposed to be my day off for editing, but alas, so just pretend it's Saturday. It's not actually Sunday. It's a ruse. On the practice side of things this week, we have no baseline for comparison. I want to frame it in a way that my improvement journey kind of starts now. I've sort of been stuck for a long time, and now I'm going to be actively applying. Actually, I wouldn't say I've been stuck for a long time. It's that I haven't been focusing on getting better in a very long time. And even when I was improving, I would say I was improving just because, as I read from like Make It Stick, I was delaying the amount of playtime by just enough in margins that I think I was retaining more and learning more and getting better at like a constant rate. Okay. Now that I'm actively focusing on improvement, I want to have a baseline. Okay, so that way if we get worse or whatever, we can try and figure out why those things are happening and correct for them, or keep trying stuff till we get something that sticks. Again, I'm committed. So this week our average MMR is 49.39. Um, that's like what, top point one or whatever. Like I said in the intro, it's it's a good, but it's still terrible. Okay, so we're not top 200. Top 200 starts around 5,200. You can get in there maybe with 5,150 sometimes, and you're safely in the top 200 if you have around 5,300. So we're still consistently losing against those guys, and that's kind of what's holding us back in the MMR range. Our supply block time average is 52.76 seconds. This is an improvement by 3 seconds, and honestly, the biggest tell that I took time out of my life to practice my mechanics, because I played 93 games, and over the course of those 93 games, I like on average was just supply blocked 3 seconds less, and 19 seconds is the lowest you can go. So unspent resources is 704. Unfortunately, this is something that's actually very difficult to track because unspent resources get. Actually, I reached out to the developer of SCTReplayStats.com to ask him to implement a feature to allow me to sort by, or like to filter out games past a certain length, or to not count stats past a certain length, because past like the 12-minute mark in a game of StarCraft 2, um, you're just gonna have you can have a lot of money because you have no more room to build more guys, so you have a lot of economy coming in, but you literally can't build more units even if you wanted to. So that throws things off. And if you have like, let's say you have a week where you play a lot of late games, like you have a lot of like 15-minute, 20-minute games, it'll completely skew the result. See, unspent resources is actually up from last week. If I do the 14-day average, it was like 690, and I'm at 704. But that's too variable. We're looking for like long-term trends here. And there's actually graphs, like SCTReplayStats.com is really cool in the sense that you can customize the graphs of your for tracking your progress, and I'll be doing like the 7-day averages, and I can look back at the 14 days to see the trends and everything. And you can customize that layout completely. That's done by my friend Breath. He's fantastic. That site is fantastic. Yeah, so I want to reflect kind of on the state of the week, and what we and the state of editing the vlog and whatnot. And I probably won't talk about this next week as I get better at it. But so editing this took like 5 hours so far, um, a lot of time, more than I would have liked. I think I shot more footage than I would have liked, and I think I yeah I don't know. I'm not really sure what direction I want to go in with it. I want to keep it a little more condensed, but I mean, I've had fun with it, so we'll see. I might get to the point where I'm only filming like one or two things a day rather than like the specific parts of the day. I'm not really sure yet. That part's up for debate. This week's vlog was long, and it ran long because there was definitely a segment in there about Blizzard's thing that I wasn't expecting to do, and yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like, expecting a quick vlog is kind of interesting, depending, because it really depends on the week. And there's stuff I didn't even talk about that happened this week. Namely, we're building some shelves. I will actually show you a sneak peek for. I'll put that in the next week's vlog. Yeah, it was. Yeah, some of the footage is actually ruined, and that kind of bothers me. Like, this lens picks up a lot of light, too much light, and you have to adjust the f-stop a lot if you're outside. It just completely washed out like half the footage. It was actually kind of brutal. But you know, you live and learn. Like this camera is literally, until this week, has never left the studio and had no reason to leave the studio. And I haven't really learned how to adapt to the different environments, and that's just part of the curve. I want to give my thoughts on whatever book I'm reading at the time, because it's specifically related to improvement. And so Make It Stick is a pretty interesting book so far. What I'm learning is essentially that, you know, everybody who studies, like who does math studying, is doing it completely wrong, and it's the worst way to improve at anything. And so you might think, well, that your mathing practice isn't this bad. Well, from what I'm understanding, actually no, because I'm doing it every other day, and that's more like recollection. So and not just recollection, but it's fixed. It's intervaled practice. I'm not just massing practice hours. I'm doing it at a rate that, you know, your brain can kind of process it, and then every time you go back, you're reflecting on what you did wrong and sort of trying to iron it out. And I'm focusing. Like, I'm not even, when I practice in the mornings, like, I don't have a stream on. I don't have music on. Nothing is distracting me. Like, it is the only thing I'm doing, and I'm sort of trying desperately not to think about the other shit I have to do in the day, and just work on making sure that I execute the build order as cleanly as possible, even if it's a bad build. Like, I don't think the build that I'm practicing right now is particularly good. I just know that I know the benchmarks I need to hit, and I'm trying to hit them and make sure that I don't mess it up. So let me read this. Taking time between learning and reciting increases the strength of memory. So yeah, basically reciting is key, and the time to between things is key. So you don't want to just like read something and then read it again. You want to read something and then try and pull it from memory, because every time you try and pull a thing from memory, you actually modify the memory, which strengthens the memory. We kind of do that with like dedicated practice at like a fixed interval. It's the same sort of thing where I'm kind of learning from my mistakes like 2 days ago and trying to iron them out. And obviously, like when I'm playing ladder games for stream, I'm not really focusing too much on the same thing. It's not focused, right? But I obviously, given the 93 games, it's still helped. It's improving the muscle memory and the mechanics of the thing. So delayed feedback is better than immediate feedback. So if you wait like a day, it's better than just recalling it immediately. I want to take 3 or 4 games that I lose during the week, dive into why I'm losing games, either that I don't understand why I'm losing them, or that I do understand, and see what led up to that. Like why are we there? But more importantly, because we're looking at a replay, like a couple replays later, where I'm no longer processing. Like sometimes I'll be streaming, and I'll be playing a game against a new person, and I'm thinking about how I lost the last game because it irked me so much. Right? I don't want to watch a replay there where I'm skimming past all the stuff that happened because I understand. Like I'm in the mindset of the person who just made those mistakes, so I'm not thinking that they're mistakes. So if I watch the replay, like 3 days later, it's possible that with a new frame of mind and I recall the game that happened, I'll learn more from it. So far, that's what I've sort of taken from it, because I don't want to just read these books. I think that then it would be like not a useless segment, but it would just be like, okay, so this is my book review. It's not a book review. How are we going to take the lessons of improvement that people that from, like in this particular case, this guy studies this stuff for a living and is just writing a consumable book about it. How do I take what he's written and try to apply it to StarCraft 2? My understanding of how people practice is that most people just mass ladder games and watch VODs and do custom games. That's the extent of what I know that people do for practice. So I know some people practice like their build orders to get them down, but I don't think people are doing interval practice beyond that. Like, if you're one of the best players in the world, can you practice your mechanics in like alone, separate from your other practice, to improve them still, even though you're the best in the world? Is that possible? Is there other ways to improve? I know that right now that's my weak point, because I have a lot of experience playing games and I tend to know what people should do just because I've played a lot of games, but I know where my weakness is. It's my mechanics and not speed. Like I'm a fast player, I can play quickly. It's my accuracy and my efficiency, right? Like I don't think that speed does not equate to being good at anything in StarCraft 2. You can be, 100 actions per minute player and be very good because you do something useful on every one of those actions. And I need to become more efficient and do the right things and remember to do them, and that's the basis of mechanics. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this, even if it was just the animals. Yeah, I think it was a fun time for me. I'm learning about videography, which is fun, and like different lighting settings and whatnot, and that's cool. I'm just happy to get back to content creation, even if this was like a pretty rough first go. Hopefully we dial it in, and then every week we get something that you guys really want to watch. If not, then I'll be like 52 vlogs in this year. No one will be watching, but I'll know how much we've improved at StarCraft 2. And yeah, I hope you guys had and have a great week. Don't do it to me, man. What are... I don't understand. Where's the measuring?